Oh, you beautiful storm survivors, you walking catastrophes wrapped in calm smiles, welcome back to the moment that haunts every replacement. Welcome to the conversation your ex never wanted to have. Picture this. It's 2 a.m., maybe 3, and the new person, the upgrade, the one who was supposed to make you disappear from memory, they just asked the question. Who the hell was that? Who were they to you? Why do you still look like that when their name comes up? And your ex, oh your ex, they're stammering now, searching for words that don't exist, trying to explain something they never fully understood themselves. They're trying to compress years of intensity into a sentence that won't make them look weak, won't make them look like they're still not over you, won't reveal the truth that you weren't just a chapter, you were the entire genre they'll never experience again. See, they thought moving on meant forgetting. They thought new lips would erase your taste. New hands would erase your touch. New conversations would erase the way you used to finish their sentences before they even started them. But here's what nobody tells you about replacing someone like you. It doesn't work. Because you weren't just a partner, you were an experience, an era, a frequency that rewired their entire emotional operating system. And now this new person, bless their heart, they're standing in your shadow without even knowing the shape of what's blocking their light. They sense it though, don't they? They feel the weight of your ghost in every room, in every silence, in every moment when your ex's eyes go distant and their mind travels back to a version of themselves they can't access anymore. The new partner sees the way your ex flinches when a certain song plays. They notice how your ex gets quiet when someone mentions your name, how they scroll just a little too long when your profile appears in their feed, how they never, ever talk about the time you were together unless they're forced to. And when they are forced to, watch closely. Watch how their voice changes, how their body language shifts, how they choose their words like they're diffusing a bomb made of memory and regret. It was complicated, they'll say. We were young, they'll claim. It just didn't work out, they'll lie. But what they mean, what they're really trying to say without saying it, is this. They were everything I wasn't ready for, and now I'm with someone I'm ready for but don't really want. You see, your ex's new relationship isn't built on passion or depth or that rare cosmic alignment you had. It's built on safety, on predictability, on the desperate need to prove to themselves and everyone watching that they're fine, that they've moved on, that they made the right choice. But late at night, when the new person is sleeping beside them, your ex lies awake, wondering why comfort feels like settling, why stability feels like suffocation, why this person who does everything right somehow feels so wrong. They're performing happiness now, posting couple photos with captions that scream, "Look how over you I am." But you can see through the filter. You can see the performance. Because you knew them when they were real, when they were raw, when they didn't need to prove anything to anyone because what you had was proof enough. And now here we are, the new partner asking questions, pulling threads, trying to understand why they feel like they're competing with a memory. Here's the secret though. It's not a competition when one person is a placeholder and the other is a benchmark. The new partner isn't fighting you. They're fighting the standard you set without even trying. The bar you raised just by being yourself. The comparison that lives in your ex's head, rent-free every single moment they pretend to be happy. So let them ask their questions. Let them dig for answers. Because every answer your ex gives will only make them realize something terrifying. They're not with someone who's over you. They're with someone who's still under your spell, still measuring everything against you, still wondering what the hell they let go. Welcome to the aftermath, where you don't need to say a word to haunt every conversation. Let's begin. Here's what's happening in real time while your ex tries to explain you to someone who could never understand. The new partner is sitting there, listening, nodding, but internally they're doing the math, the calculations, the comparisons they swore they wouldn't make. They're adding up every detail. every micro-expression, every pause between words. And they're starting to see the shape of you emerging from the fog of their partner's carefully constructed lies. And it's not what they expected, because your ex probably painted you as crazy, dramatic, too much, too intense, someone they had to escape from to find peace. But the more questions they ask, the more cracks appear in that narrative. And through those cracks, the truth starts bleeding through like light through broken glass. The new partner hears how you challenged your ex, how you pushed them to grow, how you didn't accept their excuses or let them hide behind their trauma like it was a permanent shield against accountability. They hear how you called them out when they were wrong, how you matched their energy in ways that terrified them, how you saw through their performance before anyone else did. And slowly, painfully, the new partner starts to understand something soul-crushing. They're the safe choice, the easy option, the person who doesn't push back, who doesn't demand growth, who accepts whatever version of your ex shows up that day without question. They're the comfort food when your ex needed medicine, the background music when they needed a symphony, the calm waters when they needed to learn to swim in storms. Watch what happens next, because this is where it gets interesting. The new partner will try harder now, won't they? They'll attempt to prove they're better than you, different than you, more evolved than you. They'll bend themselves into shapes they were never meant to hold, trying to fill the space you occupied, trying to become the intensity your ex claims they didn't want, but clearly still craves. They'll suggest spontaneous trips, initiate deeper conversations, try to create moments that feel alive, electric, dangerous. But here's the tragedy. It'll all feel forced, manufactured, desperate, because what you had wasn't performed, it was innate. You didn't try to be memorable, you just were. You didn't try to leave an imprint. Your existence was the imprint. And no amount of effort from someone playing your position can recreate the magic that happened when two people who were supposed to collide actually did. Your ex sees this happening, sees the new partner trying, and it makes them feel even more trapped, because now they're responsible for someone else's insecurity, someone else's inadequacy, someone else's realization that they're living in the architectural shadow of a love they can never reconstruct. Your ex wanted simple, wanted easy, wanted someone who wouldn't crack them open and force them to face themselves. And they got exactly that. Someone simple, someone easy, someone who will never crack them open again. And that's the price they're paying. The numbness they traded your fire for, the mediocrity they chose over mastery, the lie they tell themselves every morning when they wake up next to someone who makes them feel nothing close to what you made them feel. They wanted to forget you, but instead, they created a permanent reminder of everything you were that this new person isn't. The comparison isn't even fair, is it? Because you were never trying to be better than anyone. You were just being yourself at maximum voltage, full frequency, unfiltered, and unapologetic. You loved hard, fought hard, felt hard, lived hard. You brought chaos, yes, but also clarity. You brought pain, yes, but also purpose. You brought storms, yes, but also the kind of aliveness that makes people realize they've been sleepwalking through life. And your ex, they couldn't handle that intensity, couldn't sustain that frequency, couldn't stay awake in that level of consciousness. So they ran to someone who lets them sleep, someone who doesn't wake them up at 3 a.m., with existential questions and hungry kisses, and the kind of passion that feels like drowning and flying at the same time. They chose the shallow end because the deep end with you almost killed them. But here's what they're realizing now. Surviving isn't the same as living. So let's go deeper into that conversation, that interrogation disguised as pillow talk. The new partner is asking questions. But they're not really questions anymore. They're accusations wrapped in curiosity. Why do you get quiet when their name comes up? Why did you delete all the photos but keep the one in your hidden folder? Why do you still follow their Spotify playlists? Why did your whole face change just now when I mentioned them? And your ex, they're trapped, aren't they? Trapped between telling the truth, which would end this relationship, and telling a lie, which would make them hate themselves even more than they already do. So they do what cowards do. They deflect, they minimize. They rewrite history in real time to protect themselves from the consequences of their own choices. It wasn't that deep, they'll say. And in that moment, they're not lying to the new partner. They're lying to themselves. Because if it wasn't that deep, why are they still measuring every kiss against yours? If it wasn't that deep, why do they dream about you more than the person next to them? If it wasn't that deep, why does your birthday still appear in their phone calendar 3 years later? Why does your favorite restaurant make them nauseous with memory? Why do they take the long way home just to avoid driving past your old apartment? The new partner knows, or at least suspects, that something doesn't add up. The math isn't mathing. The story has holes. The performance has cracks. And through those cracks they can see what your ex is desperately trying to hide, that you're not an ex. You're the one that got away because they pushed you away. The standard they'll measure everyone against forever. The ghost that will haunt every relationship they attempt to build on your burial ground. Here's where the real damage happens, though, in the silence, after the questions stop. In that thick, suffocating silence where both of them are thinking the same thing but nobody has the courage to say it out loud, the new partner is thinking, I'm never going to be them, am I? And your ex is thinking, no, you're not, and that's supposed to be the point, but somehow it's the problem. That silence is heavier than any argument, more destructive than any fight, because it's the moment where both people realize they're building a life on a foundation of unfinished business, unresolved feelings, and the kind of denial that eventually collapses under its own weight. The new partner feels it. That sinking realization that they're not insufficient because of who they are, but because of who they're not. They're not you. And in your ex's twisted psychology, that's both the reason they're together and the reason they'll never truly connect. Now watch your ex scramble. Watch them try to salvage the moment, try to reassure the new partner with touch or words or promises they don't mean. You're different, they'll say, which is true but also devastating. What we have is better, they'll lie, which convinces neither of them. I'm over them, they'll swear, which might be the cruelest joke they've ever told. Because you're not something someone gets over. You're something someone survives, something someone carries, something someone builds their entire personality around having lost. You're the scar tissue they touch when they think nobody's watching, the reference point for every emotion they'll ever feel again, the standard by which all future love is measured and found lacking. And the new partner, poor thing, they're starting to understand they didn't fall in love with a person. They fell in love with someone who's still in love with the idea of someone else. But here's the twist nobody sees coming. The new partner starts resenting you, not because of anything you did, but because of what you represent. The impossible standard, the untouchable memory, the phantom they can't compete with. Because you exist in the past, where everything is perfect, and nothing can be challenged by reality. They start hating how your ex's face lights up differently when your name accidentally comes up. How their laugh sounds fake now compared to the stories of how you used to make them laugh. How every intimate moment feels like it's missing something. Missing that intensity, that danger, that aliveness that you brought just by existing in the same room. The new partner realizes they're not building something new. They're managing the ruins of something that ended but never finished. Living in a house where your furniture is still in every room, covered in sheets, but still taking up space. Oh, but it gets better, doesn't it? Because the new partner doesn't just stop at questions, they start digging. Late at night, when your ex is asleep, they're scrolling through your profiles, studying your face and photos, reading your captions like they're archaeological artifacts, trying to understand what made you so unforgettable. They're looking at your eyes in pictures, trying to see what your ex saw, trying to decode the secret language between you two that's visible even in frozen moments. They're examining the comments on old posts, seeing how people talk about you, noticing the way even strangers seem drawn to your energy through a screen. And with every scroll, every click, every discovered photo, they're realizing something that makes their stomach turn. You're not crazy, you're not toxic, you're not any of the things your ex said you were. You're actually extraordinary, and that's the problem. They find the photos your ex missed when they did their purge, the ones hidden in tagged pictures, in friends' profiles, in those dark corners of the internet where your history together still lives. And in those photos, they see your ex's face looking different, younger somehow, more alive, wearing an expression they've never seen in person. That's the face of someone who was in it, who was present, who was feeling something real and overwhelming and beautiful in its destruction. The new partner has never seen your ex look like that with them, has never captured that spark in any of their couple photos, has never witnessed that level of presence. And it breaks something inside them, this realization that they're with someone whose capacity for passion was already spent on you, whose ability to be fully present was exhausted in your fire, whose heart learned to love at a frequency they can no longer access, because it hurt too much when it ended. They start noticing patterns, don't they? The way people who knew you both together speak carefully when your name comes up. The way mutual friends change the subject quickly. The way there's this collective understanding that what you two had was different, dangerous, unforgettable. The new partner pieces it together like a detective at a crime scene. Except the crime is loving someone who's emotionally unavailable because they're still emotionally occupied. They find your writing, your posts, your art, your words, that your ex used to screenshot and save and read over and over. And they understand now why your ex sometimes gets distant, why certain phrases trigger them, why they sometimes quote things that sound too profound to be their own thoughts. They're quoting you, channeling you, still living in the frequency you operated on because they never found a way to translate back to normal after experiencing your language. The comparison becomes unbearable. The new partner sees how you write about life, love, pain, transformation, and they realize their own thoughts are shallow puddles next to your ocean. They see how you move through the world with this unapologetic intensity, this refusal to dim yourself for anyone's comfort, and they realize they've been dimming themselves their entire relationship just to make your ex feel safe. They see your passion, your rage, your joy, your full spectrum humanity on display. And they realize they've been performing a one-dimensional character, the easy girlfriend, the uncomplicated boyfriend, the person who doesn't make waves because their whole relationship is built on the promise of calm waters after your storm. And in that moment, scrolling through your digital fingerprints, they understand they don't want to be the calm, they want to be the storm. But it's too late because your ex chose them specifically because they're not. Here's where it turns from sad to pathetic. Because the new partner starts imitating you. They don't even realize they're doing it at first, but slowly they start dressing like you, talking like you, posting like you, trying to access the parts of your ex that only you could reach. They'll suggest the restaurants you used to go to, play the music you used to share, even adopt your mannerisms in desperate hope that if they become enough like you, your ex will look at them the way they looked at you in those photos. But it doesn't work, because authenticity can't be cosplayed, magic can't be manufactured. And lightning doesn't strike the same place twice, especially when that place is deliberately avoiding storms now. Your ex sees what the new partner is doing, and it makes them feel even more guilty, more trapped, more aware that they destroyed something irreplaceable to build something replaceable. The imitation isn't flattery. It's a mirror reflecting their biggest regret. Let's talk about how you exist in that relationship without ever being physically present. How you've become the third person in every conversation, every argument, every intimate moment. Your ex and their new partner are making love. But guess who's in the room? You are. In every comparison your ex's mind makes. In every technique they use that they learned from you, in every moment of passion that feels like a photocopy of something that was once original. You're there when they fight. Because your ex learned conflict from you. Learned that some people fight because they care too much, not because they care too little. And now, every argument with this new person feels sterile, meaningless, like shadow boxing, instead of the real war you two used to wage. You're there when they laugh, because your ex remembers how you could find humor in darkness, how your jokes cut deep and healed simultaneously. And this new person's humor feels surface level, safe, forgettable. You're the standard for everything now, the invisible benchmark that this new relationship can never reach. Did the new partner cook dinner? Your ex is remembering how you used to cook, what dishes you made, how the kitchen felt different when you were in it. Did they go on a trip together? Your ex is comparing it to the trips you took, how you turned every moment into an adventure, how you made even the boring parts feel alive. Did they have a deep conversation? Your ex is measuring it against the 4 a.m. talks you used to have, when you both excavated each other's souls with words that felt like surgery, painful but necessary, destructive but healing. Everything, absolutely everything, passes through the filter of you, and the new relationship is constantly being found lacking because it's being measured against a connection that existed at a frequency most people never experience in their entire lives.